So hello everyone, this is OK here, and I just missed the series between Jasugi99 and catask, but I thought for fun I'd just play through the games of the series. It's a bullet series, so I'm not going to analyse too deeply, but I just wanted to get a sense of the flow of the games, and I thought there are certain players who might enjoy watching the series. So I'm not playing it in real time, I'm just playing through the moves. Just trying to guard g7 with sort of more attacking move. Hits the knight, almost forces the queen trade, and then you have to do something about the knight. So the pressure is on here. Defends. Prepares perhaps to castle. Defends. Some sort of attacking intent with check. Defends c2. This seems quite a passive move. So I'm going to check the engine in this move. Queen f7 is the strongest move. So why is that? We have a pawn and a queen in hand. If we just do pawn at f7, what's the problem? Queen at h5, hitting the knight, simply castles, and so on. So yeah, the strongest move in the position found by Jasugi. And why is it so strong? I guess it's because it's something to do with this file. This is good. So the key to this position is this queen is actually indirectly defending this pawn. The king gets out the way, and it's very important now for black to defend this pawn. And because that's the mistake of the game. You can afford to either defend the pawn straight away or do this. Knight takes e5, and do you take the bishop or do you even take here? It's not clear. C takes d2, knight takes f7. And so perhaps it turns out white is actually winning in this position. But that's the try. Maybe at d6 is stronger then, just to try and play solid. Okay, it's a hard position for black. So, but what happened in the game is white gets this central pawn and crashes through, increases pressure on the pin, always increase pressure on pins. And the key for black is getting in on here, on this open file. How does white stop it? Ah, interesting. So why not just take? A takes b6. Why not take here? Because this is mating. The rook on the back rank is mating. Rook at b8. You can't take with the rook because otherwise knight c7 is a smothered mate, but if you take with the king, there's a very beautiful mate. Just queen takes rook. King comes out, and queen c8, and queen here is checkmate. Yeah. I was thinking silly things which don't work, like this, which happens to be mate, but only by chance. Yeah, anyway, they're simply to try and block. Knight at c7, king b8. Rook at c8, takes. Yeah. It's an interesting one. You bring the king closer so it can't block. Anyway, let's just play through the games. Yeah, so you'd really love to get in here, but the point is this back rank threat is actually going to be this taking on here. So this actually, let's say that again. What if takes, and we just take? Sorry, it's this way, and we just take. Yeah, he's still getting knight here and pawn here. Sorry, I don't know why. I forgot this. So it doesn't help us at all. Okay, so that's why we can't take just yet. And okay, we see something similar to this happening in the game. Just at h7, at a7 seems strong, but he does knight here. Black was expecting knight at a7, queen a7 is mate. So that's game 1 and catask 1. Let's play a little bit quicker through the games. Okay, game 2, Jasugi is white. Okay, like why? You're giving up a piece so easily. Gonna find out. And you got mate. Because king goes here, rook here, takes as checkmate. King goes here, it's also mate. So, I don't know, I don't believe the original move at all. But apparently it's good. Yeah. Who would have known? Knight takes d5, strongest move in the position. If you just take the queen, takes here. Bishop comes back to g. Yes, okay. So you can't do that. You have to defend. So you defend somehow. Takes. Is there a better way of defending? Okay, so that was clearly strong. Okay, game 3. Jasugi is black. So this is the line. Bishop e7, d4. Takes with the pawn, takes with the knight. Blocks the f7, takes, then takes the knight, takes, and tries to go for g2. Takes here, takes, goes on f7, throws in a check, throws in another check. Okay, here we're deviating slightly from the line. Somehow slightly different. But okay, so let's see how this one went. Throws in a check. In fact, we can turn the Opening Explorer on to see what the most common move is in each of these positions. Knight takes d4, queen takes d4, knight h4 is all very common. Knight takes f6, bishop takes f7, king takes, knight at g5. This is very common. King e7. Just the more usual move is queen takes d8. It's a 50-50 win ratio. And you don't go rook takes d8, because otherwise you get mated by queen at c7 and at c5. Let's just play through it. So the pawns just push you further and further out. Suppose you take it. Now the bishop develops. Okay, suppose you block. Queen takes c7. Okay, suppose we didn't. Well, what do we do? Okay, it's all really not very nice. So probably more realistically we do this, but then knight at b3. There we go. So that's why in the game king takes d8 was played. Oh, no, it's not. Queen takes queen wasn't played at all. But if queen takes queen were played, you go king takes d8, and then white has lots of options, one of which is queen at d3. Queen at d5 check is apparently the best. At d6, played by I am Andras Toth. e5, bishop at c6. Interesting. I mean, a real flawless game there by Andras Toth. Knight takes d6, knight takes b7, except he missed queen f7 checkmate in 1. which is okay. So going back, so in fact, this was played instead. Knight at d5, knight takes f6, knight takes g2, king f. I'm going to turn this engine off because it's only going to distract people. e2, check. Ah, okay. I'm going to turn the engine on again, just because it might be useful. So at g6, okay, knight takes f8 is good. Here, king c1. Ah, so white was completely winning in this position with knight at e7 with the queen in hand. So you obviously can't go this way because this is mate, so you have to go this way. And then you just follow the checks. e7 check. Thing is, if you step up, then you just get a knight promotion. And maybe try and block. Oh, it's a double check, of course, so you have to try and run. You try and do this, queen c7, king takes, at f7, king here, and at e7, stuff like this. You can't really run up, doesn't work because of queen c7 here, and this is checkmate. Okay, so black managed to swindle something. How on earth? Knight here takes, and here black has mate, knight e2, and it's checkmate. Because if b takes e3, d takes e3, and that forces the queen. Maybe bishop at a3 blocks, and at d2 is checkmate. But catask saw the writing was on the wall and resigned. Okay, so game 4 is it? And Jasugi is white. Okay, let's try and play this a little bit quicker. It's a d4, d5. Takes here, opens up the A file. Gets the rook, gets the queen. Slightly painful. And black resigns because this is coming. Okay. Next one. Jasugi is black. Bishop e7 line. We're seeing this playing so much today. Instead of going rook g1, catask plays king f1. Maybe even a stronger move. Knight h4 takes. King here. Check, takes. Knight here, check. Steps back, takes. Wow, we're getting the knight with check. Oh, wow. Wow. So Jasugi99 wins that one. And the next one, really safe from catask. So catask looks like he's doing really nicely this game. Nice pin. Nice fork. If you take the knight, so it's a nice capture. Defends the fork, okay, and wins a pawn. Goes straight in for the attack. Winning a queen. As long as you're not getting mated, that's good. Oh, this looks so painful for black. Unless he has a mate. He's going for mate in 1. rook takes knight, bishop takes, knight takes bishop, bishop takes pawn. Rook here check, rook takes bishop, just to try and clear everything out, and then black resigned here, because clearly you're gonna draw him out. No, knight d8, sorry, even better, don't even draw him out, keep him in. King f8, bishop at d6 keeps him in, and then you give the final blow. So that's a nice one. Even better than this. Knight d8. Okay, so that was that game. Nice win from Jasugi. Okay, getting in on f3. He's hitting the knight here. Captures the knight. Then he gets in on f3. Really, just queen for a pawn, just to get in on f3. That's how important it is. Ooh, yes, the bishop's valuable. It's all about getting in on f3. Can white do anything here? Got to be careful about knight f3, that's why he's defending like this. Ooh, discover check threats. Okay, he goes in anyway. Mate in one threat, he defends. Yeah, how to continue here? Queen at e6, knight at h5. So this is interesting. But knight there, check, takes. Is he safe? Maybe. Takes. Oh, nice. So the king can only go here, which you can give him a check. And here's to finish it. So nice finish. Was there something stronger for white? Not really. So yeah, maybe this bishop at g3 was a critical mistake. Knight at h5 looks good. You can't take with the pawn because otherwise the other knight. If you take with the pawn, bishop at h6, and you're threatening. If king takes h6, knight at f5, keeping the king in a box, and queen at h6. So that was the threat. So that's not possible. But you could go queen takes, pawn takes. Still, white's got two queens in hand. That's more dangerous than it looks. It says just go bishop at h4, but I don't know if I believe that. Bishop at h4. I think white's winning this. So just h6. King has to run up. You can sack a queen. Yeah, this is mate for white. King e7, bishop at f6. You have to take. That's clearing away another defender. And then bishop at g7. King to e7, bishop takes f8. King takes f8. Another bishop on g7. You run up. Knight at d5 check. King d6. Queen to e7. King takes knight. And rook at c5 checkmate. Just clearing black of everything. So that was a critical move for white. Knight at h5 here. I think it's a forced mate, although the engine doesn't see it. What happened instead was this, and white gets forced mate. Okay, next one. So he doesn't take here because of this, I guess, but it happens anyway. Ooh, nice find. And black resigned. So you might want this. That's why he takes this first. Okay, again, he doesn't go with... Yeah. So why does this not work? Because you just take it and put the pawn here, so it doesn't work at all. So instead this takes, knight here, takes. So black is really solid here. Whoa. I feel like the match is just hotting up now. Whoa, bishop at h2. You sure both of them are not trying to be really solid? Ah! And white resigns because I suppose you just... black's got a couple more knights in hand. I mean, white's got a lot of material, but the problem is pawn at g2. Yeah, probably pawn at g2 and stuff is coming. I suppose you just try and defend. Knight takes g2, bishop takes, knight at e2. There's too much coming at once. Rook at g1, just take it. Ah, knight at g3. Knight takes g3, bishop takes, queen here, and this. It's just too much material coming at once. Okay. But what happened in the game was just a resignation at this point, when he saw his queen under attack and black so safe. So solid from black. This looks quite pleasant for black. Trying to get a pawn for g7, throws in a check first. Sacks. Oh my goodness. Was there no alternative here? He has to block or it's mate. So this is a really nice find. He has to block or it's mate. But maybe block the bishop because knights are too dangerous and block here. He blocks with the knight and that just makes this is now forcing mate. King g6, queen at f6, takes, pawn at g4, and resigns because this is coming, then this, and if this, then this takes this is mate, so this comes, and that's checkmate also. Okay, we're going to see this line again, but king f1, steps back, takes the queen, check, knight here, check, bishop here, check, knight here, check, bishop here, check, blocks. No immediate mate, but takes away the dangerous knight. Takes knight here, steps up. Oh! And it's no good. Yeah, white resigns. So again, Jasugi wins one of these ones, because queen g2, this is coming. Knight h5, there's only one move, king f5, and bishop takes bishop is checkmate. Or indeed, it looks like even queen here is checkmate. In fact, everything is mate. At g6, or g6 is checkmate. Okay. So Jasugi wins another of these ones, down that kind of line. Difficult line. But these ones... uncomfortable. He wants a pawn, even though he's losing a queen. Oh, yeah, he's attacking the queen. So the threat is at h7 and this. So it's quite a fast threat. I think this is a nice find here. Knight h. Oh no, it doesn't work. So the point he was going for was knight h3. If g takes h3, he suddenly has a swindle. King h1 at g2, king takes, knight takes h4. If you step back, yeah, that's harder. If you step up, it's easier. It's rook f3, king takes knight, and rook takes h3 is checkmate. And if you step here, then it's very easy. Just pawn here, rook here is mate. And what's the most challenging is if you step back. So did I miss a forcing sequence earlier? I mean, this has to be the right. This has to be the right approach. So king g1 has to be the right move. And then knight f3. Oh, so that's not the right approach. Bishop takes pawn is the right approach. The point is if you have this and bishop at g4, king to g3, rook at f3 is mate. And if you step this way, that doesn't do you much better, because then this is checkmate. Okay, so this is why you can't take the knight. You could step up directly, but same thing's going to happen, or you take the bishop. Take the bishop, knight g5. And whenever you step here, we're going to have a bishop check and probably a rook in the corner mate. That's going to be the basic plan. So if we go here, we're going to go at h4 check, king takes h4, rook at h3, king g4, bishop at f3. He's just running out of squares. But the point is, if this, again, we could just bring the queen in, I guess. Bishop at f3 takes, and the rook checkmates. So the point is, he's being forced down. But if he's forced down, we've got bishop at f3, king to g1, rook at h1 checkmate. So at h4 is quite a hard move to find there, but it's a really good move. And are there any other mates apart from rook h3? No, rook h3 is really the way to do this. Okay, so that's why he was going for a trick with knight at h3, but just king h1 is fine. And that's what happened in the game, and black resigns. So the point being, his queen's under attack. If he just takes the queen, we're going to see a back rank mate. You clear away the back rank, and then put this in. Even if you try and run away, this is mate. Okay, next one. Jasugi is back. We're going to see this. Oh, we see a little bit of a mix-up. Whoa, what happened here? Castles here, knight here. He loses his central pawn. Oops. He loses another pawn. Okay, this can't be good for black. Don't tell me this is good for black. Takes. Ah. So black's lost so much. So if queen takes, you're losing a rook. So king takes, queen takes pawn, takes the queen, steps back. So black has just sacked a lot of material. And this position, I think rook at h8 would be even more powerful. Oh, you only got a queen. Okay, so knight takes rook seems to make sense. Bishop e6. Rook at h7 was played, but it's not the most forcing move. He wins a queen, but white found the mate. Okay, next game. Ooh, so catask going for a slightly different setup. And I could say it might have been tempted to take this bishop. But yeah, maybe that equalizes for black. But okay, so the thing about this setup is that this pawn is slightly weak, so it's pushed to f5. Oop, the queen immediately gets chased back. And we have, again, a symmetric position. But black's doing okay. He has this annoying pawn. Takes the knight. So, and this bishop is somehow supporting. Okay, black wants a pawn to trap white's queen. But white's got initiative. Oh, nice. Wins the queen. And what's the finish? Takes the rook. Grabs a knight. Grabs a check. Okay, what's the... Yeah, so queen takes f5 here was strong, because then you can go queen takes g7. And then knight to g5 will be checkmate. So you have to go back, knight at f6, and here's checkmate. So grabbing that knight was the way to really finish it off. But even here, so queen d7 is strong, but the really neat move is knight h6, getting a rook on the second rank, because the rook on the second rank is mate. But if you do this, then a rook at g5, king takes, and bishop takes pawn. So that's also mate. And if you try and run away like so, then we do have a rook in hand after all. So that's also mate. So that was a neat mate in that position. But this was played instead. Just going, black's completely fine, but really going for all the material. Time's an issue. They've only got 5 seconds each. Defending like crazy. Just spite checks. Ah, these spite checks. Only 1 second left. I mean, white deserves to win this. Will he find the mate with only 1 second on the clock? Unfortunate. There's only 1 second on the clock. Is Jasugi99 going to... Is catask going to... Sorry, will Jasugi99 find the mate? Or will catask with 0.3 seconds on the clock flag him? That would not be right. Jasugi99 is too fast. He uses only 0.1 of his 1 second, and catask uses up his 0.3 seconds as they fling their kings around the board. Okay, that was fun. So, we're getting this one again. Slightly different, with knight at e6, takes, knight takes, queen here check. Oh, nice one. Picks up the knight. So beautiful, and also defends f7. Okay, annoying. Ooh, oh, painful. And doesn't... Rook takes knight. Pawn here. Pawn here. Rook here. White's just making it complicated. And we're into that last 5 seconds. And it's not clear. Just throw checks. 2 seconds against less than a second. And white flagged. Well, it was a good game earlier from black, so he deserved that one. Okay, so this is very classical. Very classical. Sacking on d5. Black's off. Getting the bishop in on that square. e6. Just very classical. Black just resigns. It's just such a classical way to play. I mean, this is... yeah. I'm going to style this as this is the way you should play d4, d5. Okay, next one. That was just like an example game. Just out of interest, they're not playing, no one's playing live right now. No. So, d4, d5. Okay, he tries to open up the file. Interesting way of shutting up the file. h7, tries to block the bishop. Rook now comes in. So just launching a sort of dark square defense. And conversely, what catask is going for a light square attack. Rook takes pawn, bishop here. Okay, it's looking uncomfortable. Ooh. I mean, this isn't taken. So instead, why? That was a move played with some thought, and I don't understand it. Because maybe it's a mouse slip of some kind. because it does swing the evaluation. Takes and doesn't even take back the bishop, throws in a check, then takes back the bishop. Okay. Defends. So white's just throwing spite checks. White with 3 seconds on the clock is just throwing spite checks. But black finds mate. Okay, next one. Sacks the queen. Oh my goodness. What a brutal attack. This is how you beat Jasugi99 in 13 moves. Whoa. Okay. I don't understand this opening at all. So the problem is rook. What's the problem with king h1? Is king h1? Oh, of course, I'm being absolutely dim. Okay, so he actually has to take it, which means... so white's just absolutely fine. He gets a counter-attack. Oh, that's so beautiful. And black resigns in view of the smothered mate. Okay, nice one. So castles, knight takes pawn, king takes pawn here. What are we going to do differently? Get out the way. Ah, this is still nasty. Okay, I'm going to actually turn the engine on. Yeah, castles is a bad idea in that position. That's the real thing you need to learn there. Bishop d3. So already, maybe it's just best not to take that knight at all. But anyway, if you do take it, bishop d3, knight e2. In principle, they're not. Just castles doesn't work in this position. Knight takes g2, king takes g2, e4. It's pretty strong. Maybe the best move is f3, but it's a pretty rough position. Okay, backs off. Bishop here, bishop here. Somehow, yeah, that's a mistake. Not just taking. And I was thinking pawn at g2, but pawn at g2, rook e1, and then not quite sure what we want to finish it. So the alternative is pawn at, it's not clear what you want. f5 to try and get the queen in, maybe. That's an interesting idea. a6 to try and pick up. Anyway, so what he plays instead was just backing off. And turn the engine off because it might distract. So it's going for rook at h7, and bishop takes... Yeah, this is interesting. Let's see what he does. If you do nothing, the threat is rook at h7, king g8, and I think sacking here, because if queen takes, bishop... I was thinking bishop here, but apparently... Yeah, no, not bishop there. Pawn there first, and white is mating. Bishop e6. Okay, so it's just very uncomfortable. And if you just move to one side, still bishop e6, king f8, rook h8, and he takes his mate. So yeah, at g6 is important to set up a back rank. Okay, so that's why he has to defend. And he defends like knight g5, does catask. h4, trying to hit the defender, takes the defender, takes back, takes. you can't take that bishop because knight is forking king and queen. Takes back, takes here, puts a knight on, and he finds the mate. Rook at h8, queen takes h8, knight takes h8 with check. So if you just try and run at f7, knight g6, and queen here is checkmate. Okay, this one Jasugi is black. We have a sack on f7. An interesting move, bishop to h8 to defend the king. The dark squared bishop is key to giving black some coverage. There's no more coverage. Ah, nice one, because if king h1, knight g3 is checkmate. So takes, knight here. And again, they're back rank issues. These are so many pawns. Pawn and rook on the back rank would clear away the entire white army. Okay, so takes the bishop. Check, takes. And this is again dangerous because what? With knight, bishop, and queen, if you go here, this is covered. But maybe knight here? Yeah, what would be the line after king h8? King h8, knight at g6. Takes. If king h8, queen at h8 swings across and wins the rook anyway. But this way, knight takes f8, queen takes, and this is ridiculous, but you can just give up. The point of this is to drive the king to here, to take this, and you have another queen in hand to come here, and this will be checkmate. Oh, did I get it all wrong? Bishop at g4, oops, oh, he's running away, whoa. So yeah, if you did this, suddenly you have a whole new checkmate you have to find. King e6, bishop at g8. Okay, so it's looking complicated. Bishop at g8, pawn at f7, takes, knight takes, queen here check, king d5, queen e4, king c5. Yeah, so it's a whole new kettle of fish. a5, king a6 at b5 to draw him in, takes, maybe a4, king a6, and queen c4 will do block, and queen takes b5, checkmate. Okay, anyway, so the point of that is that's why the king does have to get out, because knight at g6 is a problem. Bishop there check, blocks, queen there check, blocks. I've had to block with the rook, so bishop takes g6 was actually strong here. Bishop takes g6, queen takes g6, has to come up, f5 here, and f4 is strong. While if this knight at d5 now you're being driven down, and pawn here is mate. What actually happened in the game was he took the knight, and well, that turned out to be a mistake. So now black has got the attack, but not much time on the clock, 13 seconds each, and it wasn't converted. Bishop takes pawn, for example, was strong. Knight at h4, winning the queen, and so on. If king here, then knight at d3, winning the queen. Oops. Knight at d3, and suppose you just did this, then knight takes f5 would be winning the queen, so here, and you want to win the queen with check, so you just throw in this one first. And then you win the queen with check, and it just makes your life even more miserable as white. Okay, so what happened in the game was white found something close to the mate. Knight there, knight takes pawn. So the point of the mate is this. And if you go here again, you now have a new knight which you can drop on c7. And if you step down, of course, we have pawns can mate in either place. Okay, but what was actually played was queen takes pawn, queen takes f8, knight to g6, rook, check, pawn. Ah, interesting. So rook at e7 was much stronger. And then f5 is checkmate. So a little bit of a slip with 8 seconds on the clock. And catask has to hunt for that mate just a little bit more. He needs knight e7 here apparently to keep it going. But okay, he did this, there check, and it was checkmate. So really black stepped to the wrong square. Just king takes c4 was fine, and block on c3 if necessary. At d3, just take it. Just take it with a rook. Queen takes rook. King takes. We get this really rather strange situation. At c2, king takes c2, knight d1, king c3. Yeah, rook at c2, king b4. Anyway, so nothing clear. Throw in a check, and finally, let's get some safety. And then black would be mating white with some well-timed moves. Okay, sorry, let's get on. That's not it. Okay, so next one, Jasugi is black. We go back to the very first game, the line in the very first game. So maybe this was the very first game and I think this was the first game. I just had 2 copies of it. Yeah, it was an interesting first game, so I'm just playing it through again. Good. Okay, then there were a few more games. And I'll just open them up. Can't have too many D-test tabs open in one go. So let's try and risk it and open them all. And let's look at the next one. Oh, he's opening up the H file. Is Jasugi. Gets in on F7. Why can't that be taken? G6. King takes G6. Knight F4 check. Oh, I see, and he's taking the bishop. Very nice. That's the point. Potentially with check even. So G6 is a really nice move. And black resigns. It's really nice to play that game. Just trying to survive here. Check. Check. Takes it. Oops. We got mated. What else could we have taken? We could have taken the bishop maybe, but then that also gets you mated. That's unfortunate. So what can we do here? Knight d5. So what went wrong for black in the opening? Because this seemed to be well played. g7 seems to be fine. We're even in book, I guess. Maybe bishop at f4, d6, I don't know, hard to say. d6, I don't know, bishop at f4. What did rapid variance do? Let's just have a look what he did in this position. He just moved his king back to h8. And ended up winning. I mean, not winning, but I mean, he was in a really strong position. Ended up winning only on time, but nevertheless. Okay, so what happened in this game was this, and a checkmate. Because the king is coming here, queen here is checkmate. Okay, next one. Jasugi is white, and I've got my eye on g6. This position is all about the g6 square. I thought it was anyway. Black has no knights, that's the only thing. Ah, that was a mistake, putting a pawn there, but where else to put it? At d4. Maybe it's not a mistake, so that bishop was hanging, so check, takes back the bishop, very nice. Throws in a check, blocks, knight there, check. Bishop takes queen, so this is high intensity stuff. Gets the check by moving the king. Oh, nice, very nice. So the point is it's a smothered mate if he moves the king. If he goes here, it's just rook g8 mate. But if he takes, it's rook at h8. Well, not rook, queen at h8 mate. Okay, I'm going to just play the rest of the games quite quickly. We've seen some of the patterns. Oh, so here Catask is playing the wolf line. Is it the wolf line, or is it the variant bunny line? Well, in any case, it's a strong opening for white, and he wins. This is really uncomfortable. Maybe castling into that is not such a good idea. It's really hard to defend. White just needs a pawn to mate. And how do you defend? Check. Tries to defend with the knight. Throws in a check. Resigns. It's tough. Okay, getting on h6. Knight f5 is a good defender. Getting on e3. Getting a check. Knight takes check. Bishop. Queen there. Check. Good attack. He gets the queen, but the knight defends the mate. Oh, gets the bishop with check. Gets some more checks. Just defending. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. With only 1 second left. Uh-oh. He thought black would block, and so he just took it. But this happened. And the forced checkmate sequence, bishop h4 to block him off. And like so. But okay, that happened. And someone flagged. White flagged. After the check. Okay, so there's a good flag from Jasugi. Okay, so this has only turned out slightly better. For white, he's quite a little short of getting mated. And yet somehow he's fighting back now. Rook at... Yeah, this... Black's getting rooks on the back rank. It's painful. Uh-oh, Jasugi's attacking. But he's just trying to flag. And Catask mates. Is there something here? So you got a bishop and a queen. Bishop d6. King e8 is strong. So queen there, queen there. It's not possible to do anything. Although there's obviously a threat with knight at e6. Check. Blocks the threat, takes. Attacking on the dark squares. And he eventually gets the 2-pawn mate. Building up a big centre and trying to get in on f6, and black resigns. So why can't he just play something like this? Oh, of course, knight takes c7 is a bit annoying. Okay. Okay, this is a tough to defend. This takes the pawn, so pawn at g7 is a huge threat. Throws in a check, blocks, brings in the queen. So white's all over this. Maybe bishop at g7 first, and then knight takes f6. That's interesting. Whoa! Black only has 0.8 seconds, so goes for queen here check. Oops, queen here check, and Jasugi flags. That's dirty flagging. Okay, trying to catch the pre-moves. Ooh, nasty. At least you can run, I guess. Gets the rook out the way. Diagonal gets opened. How to finish it? Surely you don't need king takes rook. But how do you finish it? Maybe just take the rook. Takes, puts the rook down, checks, checks. Queen here check, mate. And white resigns. So why does white resign? Because knight here takes the bishop, and if bishop takes, if you go bishop takes knight, you can just go queen takes f6 and reinforce. F takes taking the queen is also good, but not necessary. And if you just step back like this, takes. It takes the best, maybe. Takes, and at h3, knight f3. Yeah, still knight f3 takes the bishop is strong, and white doesn't have enough in hand. Okay, just a few more games left. Really nice long series played by these two. Takes, getting in on g6, getting on e6. Takes, check. Not going for the rook, rather going for the bishop. Interesting. It's the most dangerous piece to white's position. Oh, we let that queen in. Those knights. What? I'd say black wins on time. But hang on a second. So white I thought was doing quite well at some point. But yeah, at this point it's getting hairy. Grabs another knight. And okay, so here's the mate with knights. at c5 check. You want to keep this knight defended, so don't push c5. And you don't go king here because knight at b2 is mate. So you take it, takes back, and then go here, in which case knight at b2 is mate. So, yeah. So instead, black plays slightly defensively and flagged. And we're up to the last 4 games. So nice attack and defense at the same time. Castles, hits the bishop, challenges the diagonal, tries to defend g7, hits the queen, sacks the queen just for pawns to get in, that's amazing. And then white finds a nice mate. Because if this, then this. So black sacked too hard. Okay, Jasugi going for a Scandi as white and regretting it. Sort of Nimzo kind of approach. Okay, so it's actually a Sicilian, but yeah, putting pressure on here, and the queen coming out potentially in the future sort of reminds me of the Nimzo. Okay, and we're in the penultimate game. Jasugi99 plays GSV style with b6, takes on h7, queen h5. Ooh, nice. Picks up the knight, throws in a check, picks up bishop, gets some pieces, but now I think Jasugi is in trouble. Even if it's just a pawn at c6, so you can't go down, because if you go down it's a smothered mate. You could take it, bishop takes c6, queen takes c6, a6, but probably the best is to do this, queen takes, and try and hope that you'll find something further down the line. Okay, so it's nothing concrete. But what happened in the game was this, and white did, well, win by resignation. And finally, the last game of the series, which was won by Jasugi by 23 games to 17, was this one, where Jasugi queen takes queen, yes, so king takes has to be played. Queen here, check. Pawn here, knight takes pawn, king here. Bishop there, blocks, takes, knight here, check. Takes the rook. Throws in a check, takes his pawn, steps back. Throws in another check, hits the queen. Okay, this is some game. And Jasugi finds a really interesting mate. That last game, I'm going to run that through the engine. Let's turn the engine on while we play through this last game. It's a little bit confusing for me. Knight g5, king e7, queen takes d8. Important to go king takes, as we discussed. Queen here, check, blocks. Pawn here, can just check here. And can even go pawn at e2, queen takes e2, and bishop at g4. And of course you just defend f3. It's a mild irritation. Okay, so he goes to the check, takes the rook, check, takes, hits the queen at d6, king goes back, queen takes a free piece, queen goes back, so he's doing okay if he can stay safe, I guess. Bishop takes, knight here attacking the queen, goes straight in for the attack, and now with an eye maybe on g7, but maybe that was too slow. And the thing to do here was knight takes h7, check, and knight at d8, check, apparently. When he did this, but of course the queen moving makes it all worthwhile. Should have done this. So if bishop takes queen, there's pawn takes queen, and I think black is mating here. King d2, rook at d1, king c3, knight at d5. Sorry, knight to d5, e3, queen to b4. That's a nice way of mating. So instead he backs off, but now takes. Why not queen takes? So he should have just done queen takes. He's probably worried about this. White does have two pawns in hand, so but what do we do against this? Takes. And black's hoping to have something here. Rook at c1, rook takes c1, knight c3, takes, bishop takes pawn, blocks. Yeah, it's not clear black does have anything. So really, a lot of things worked, but what actually happened in the game was this very pretty mate with knights and bishops. Okay, so that's it for this series. Just to say actually, white was winning but played this move, which was a big mistake. But the way to disprove the mistake was maybe even just to take the queen. And where's black's mate? Yes, it's not so clear. Knight takes queen, bishop takes, knight c3 check it's suggesting is a forced mate for black. Kind of hard to see. Pawn at e2, king d2, rook d1 is going to be a problem. That's indeed going to be the problem. Rook takes, pawn takes, king takes, queen at f1, and we're coming in. So we could block something, but just going to get taken. So knight d1, at least it's defended by the bishop. e2, oops, don't want to get mated yourself. With queen here, check, and rook on the back rank, for example. So e2 check here, and queen takes knight to checkmate. So it's very simple. So that's why taking the queen was fine. Takes the queen. Just a weird move, knight c3 is the move you need. Okay. Not this one. This. Here. And then here, checkmate. Okay, well I hope you enjoyed this short stream looking at some of the games between catask and Jasugi99. Definitely some interesting games. I hope you enjoyed.